Hi, and welcome to GameReviews411, where today we'll be looking at a rather well-known game for the PS3, Xbox 360, and PC, The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. Now, this review will be focusing on the Xbox version, although the versions are all very similar apart from controls and things like that. Now, Skyrim was one of the biggest, most anticipated releases of 2011, and it didn't disappoint. It created a fully immersive reality for gamers all across the world. Hours invested in playing the game felt only like mere seconds. With every playthrough having the possibility to create multiple different stories, Skyrim gave a unique experience to every single player who picked up a controller. Praise upon praise has been heaped upon Skyrim, but is there any possible con to this game? Well, let's take a look and find out. A rebellion is taking place against the Imperial forces of Skyrim after an agreement is signed into law preventing worship of a certain deity. You just happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time as Imperial soldiers arrest rebels, capturing you as well when they think you're in on the entire scheme. You're on your way to be beheaded when a dragon, which is supposed to be extinct, attacks the town you're in. You then go on the run from the dragon, eventually finding out that you are a legendary Dragonborn, a human who has dragon blood flowing through his or her veins. It's up to you to stop the dragon invasion, but only if you feel like it. You could easily join up with the rebels in their quest to take down the Imperials, or you can join the Companions, a fighting guild that may send you on a quest to kill some vampires. The amount of possibilities is endless, and it's completely up to you which story path you'll follow. Quests are what determine how your story plays out. These quests can be gained by talking to townsfolk or simply stumbling into a fight between a giant spider and a bard. You choose which quest to ignore and which quest to complete. You can even choose to not do any quests and just explore the land of Skyrim, fighting whoever gets in your way. While you will inevitably end up fighting foes, combat doesn't necessarily have to make up the crux of your gameplay experience. The character race you create in the game and the skills you build with that character determine how you'll end up playing the game. You can totally build up attack and armor so that you can throw yourself at every troll that comes your way and win, or you can hone your magic skills and destroy enemies from afar. You can also take the sneaky path and work on your stealth skills, trying to tiptoe your way through the tulips and past the creatures standing in your way. Much like the story, the gameplay experience is uniquely your own. Much of the game you will be running across the wide expanse of the game world, searching for people or items. Your travels may bring you to some dungeons, or you may end up climbing an ice-covered mountain to get to whatever it is you're after. Enemies will appear, with everything from wolves to bandits wanting to tear you to shreds. You usually will have an ally by your side who will do their best to protect you. Of course, if they die, you're on your own again. While these allies are helpful in battle, they often walk much slower than you and will have difficulty in rough terrain. They can often fall far behind you, and when you're suddenly thrown into a battle, they might be quite far behind you and unable to help you immediately. This was a minor annoyance throughout the game, as I often found myself waiting for my companion to catch up. In addition to people helping you in your adventures, you have the trusty inventory by your side as well. Potions for healing, food for cooking, weapons, armor, baskets, these are only a few items you'll pick up for use. Nearly anything can be added to your inventory during the game, although some things might not be as useful as other items. You can only carry so much, and you will have a weight limit that you must stay under. If you start to carry too heavy of a load, you will get to the point where you can barely move. Because of this, you'll often find yourself selling heavy items that you aren't using, or storing them with your partner or in a chest. Coins are something else that you can carry around, although they don't add any weight to you. You can use them to buy things in local stores, and even bribe people to get what you want them to do. Now, there will be a lot of towns to visit because, like I said earlier, this game is huge. You could easily spend hours walking from one end of Skyrim to the other end. There are countless places to explore, forts to plunder, towns to visit. It's easy to play the game without getting in any major battles with anyone or following any particular quests. A really cool part about the game is that when you discover a location on the map, you can fast travel to that place from any other place on the map. The way you don't have to walk everywhere is really cool. You can just click on a map's location and be there. Now, it should be noted all this won't work in a dungeon or in the middle of a huge fight, but it's extremely helpful for traveling from place to place. Whenever you fast travel or enter into any new location, whether it be a city, cave, or house, loading screens pop up and they are extremely long. They can easily last up to about 45 seconds, and I don't remember any less than 15 seconds. Annoying is a mild word that can describe them. They get infuriating after a while. I understand that because this game is so incredibly massive that they have to load each interior location, that doesn't keep the numerous screens from grinding on my nerves. On each screen there will be a helpful hint or information about locations and people in Skyrim. Now admittedly they were interesting to read and sometimes enlightening. Speaking of reading, you can choose to skim over hundreds of thousands of books in the land of Skyrim. Some of them tell the history of the land, some tell fictional stories, and some teach you specific skills or spells. It's another immersive touch that makes the land of Skyrim that much more interactive. Where do I even begin with this section? Everything is absolutely breathtaking. From the landscapes to the silverware on people's dining tables, the graphics are impeccable. The realism of this game is incredible. Trees sway to the breeze that you can almost feel as you play the game. Snowflakes fall as you climb mountains, while rain randomly occurs during your treks. Rivers and waterfalls look as though you could physically swim in them, and butterflies flutter by the flowers. Probably the only thing that doesn't look perfect is the people. They sometimes look a tad blocky, but this is rare and only when you're extremely close to them. There's nothing to even critique with the music. It's atmospheric and sets the mood for wherever you happen to be. The beautiful melodies are expertly composed. I would easily listen to these tunes over my favorite songs any day of the week. The voice acting is just as wonderful. How each of the hundreds of characters is able to have a different voice is beyond me. The fact that each voice is professionally done with not one character, as far as I've seen, sounding fake is equally as mind-boggling. Even the most insignificant of people say their lines with ease. It's amazing. The script may be a tiny bit cheesy at times, but you'll most likely not notice as you're instead focused on the other awesome parts of the game. There's so much more I could say, but the main idea is that Skyrim is without a doubt one of the most revolutionary games in recent history. It well deserves the many awards and accolades it has earned. Having played many hours already, I know I've only scratched the surface of the potential of this game, and I look forward to discovering new realms and challenges. It's not perfect because of the minuscule quirks I've mentioned, but because of that I can only give it a score of positive 2, which ranks it at awesome. But it's still a must-play for anyone, regular gamer or not. Thanks so much for checking out this review. If you liked what you saw and would like to see more game reviews in the future, feel free to subscribe. Let me know what your favorite part about Skyrim is in the comments below, and I will see you next time in the next video, here on Game Reviews 411.